that has been sung by the Kenyans and the passion that they have shown has been quite touching there, and clearly that just shows you the kind of passion that their fans have. But will it determine how this game goes? Good afternoon and welcome to yet another live broadcast here on NBS Sport. It is the second semi-final. Kenya ranked 33rd on the world rankings, right there with your lineup spelled out by Jerome Powerwater, and against Zimbabwe, who are ranked 26th, having a go at each other. John Vianney, I'm going to be your commentator this afternoon here on the final day.
I expect a lot of hard hitting, a lot of very, very swift running, and it is going to be tactical because both teams have played against each other numerous times. They should be getting to the front foot very, very early. And of course, our own Robert Wutimba is in the middle to oversee proceedings.
Yeah, quite a milestone for Robert Wutimba being the referee in this game. It will definitely go a long way in boosting his profile, as well as Kenya are on the onslaught, and it is Griffin Mwaluwakwe. Clearly, you can see the kind of momentum with which they have started. Another very good recycling of the ball coming in from the scrum half here. Samuel Moi Asafi. Kenya continue to dominate play here. Barry Robinson Young, the fly half. Zimbabwe holding their lines quite well. Again, Barry. And now, of course, it's Walter Okoth. Kenya in the 22 of the Zimbabweans, as the Zimbabweans defend their lines and kick the ball away, but then there is a whistle by the Kenyans, but Zimbabwe just pick it up there quite well. Tapiwa Mafura.
It will also come into play how the teams set up their series, and you see Silky running there
with shot number 13 there, getting the touchdown. Brown on Mudie Kendiezi with the first try of the game. That looked quite easy, Alan.
Well, Brandon there did show a clean pair of heels, and from a very, very short angle, it seemed like
home fans, the Ugandan fans are supporting Zimbabwe.
It is possibly a case of they are feeling the pains of Kenya getting one over them in the quarterfinals. They would not want the noise of Kenyan banter coming through if they pipped them here. But
4 minutes already in, and the try. Bit of a surprise that a try could be in at this time, as
judging from how Zimbabwe began in the quarterfinal, they really began slow. Yes, the wind is definitely blowing against that kick, and yeah, you see, Mose Kenyezi had to put his head down, tuck the ball in, and
sets his ball now in anticipation of something from this moving maul. But then
try time, Kenya.
There for the Kenyans. Wow, that is quite a quick reaction. Hope we can get to see who
they actually use for very, very quick points. As the ticker goes, John Kubu just gets it off at the 6-meter mark, skews it to the right of the upright. So the forwards of their feet.
Maul keeps moving, pegging back the Zimbabweans, and there you are, it's touched down.
Yeah. And
that looks like a front rower. Clearly, we'll get a confirmation to see the shot. Oh, now, well, Godfrey Muzanangoro, and then Mudariki, and then there's a big hit there. Zimbabwe,
as the ball comes out, Ian Pryor sends the ball out. Whoa!
And he kicks the ball in. Good play there by the Zimbabweans to keep the ball on, and that's
warrant penalty kick. And Ian Pryor clearly with a shot at goal. I didn't want to give him the commentator's curse, because I was luckily going to say he seems that it's an area that he can't miss. But
it goes down. And ball is well presented, and the rack is well secured. That's a very good phase of play for the Kenyans. Keeping ball is key here.
Yes, they've had a couple of phases now, and if the counter is right, they should have had about 5 or 6. And
a penalty. Wrong entry?
Yes. No, actually the player was penalized for
man that many Ugandan fans will remember for what he did in the Elgon Cup in 2023.
And then he was just fresh in the Kenya colors. So, well, a Fijian coming and showing you good state and good momentum. But he has lost to Uganda a couple of times, because Liam Walker did punish him and put him on the losing end.
That was a fantastic kick. Splits the pose. It's 8-8. And we are not yet to see anything. The ruck is well secured here. The Zimbabweans continuing to pound here, getting ever closer to the try line. They're thinking of, and that's a very big tackle coming in from the Kenyans to stop Godfrey Muzanago. Zimbabwe again. Carry, and that's a touchdown this time by the captain.
Mudariki.
Fantastic play by the Zimbabweans to extend their tally to 13 points. Now that needed some real magical play.
The attentions, and then you see the pop pass. Hilton Mudariki was able. Yes, you just mentioned him a short while ago with a big carry.
Yeah,
he failed to reach the line, but he had the presence of mind to pop the ball, and Hilton Mudariki shaking
to give him credit
attentions.
for actually reading the game and popping up into that gap.
Ian Pryor with his third attempt. He's 1 of 2 at this moment. And he misses that one, so he's at 30%, which is pretty low by his standards.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, I think that the Kenya Simbas, the back line is guilty of being a little pedestrian there. As John Kubu picked up the ball and passed it to Barry Young, I think they lost momentum because Barry Young wasn't going at full flight. And there the Kenyans playing at a penalty advantage for the player not rolling out of there. That's their number 3.
What do you do if you're Kenya? You kick for poles?
Decent game in terms of his kicking. Yesterday at Chad on the Rugby Club, that was at. So it will be impressive to see what he.
Yeah, with a chance to get Kenya to 11 points, John Kubu, and he splits the poles, and it's 11-13. The pressure is maintained by Kenya. They are not about to let the Zimbabwe Sables run away from them.
Is
in this
very
cunning player.
Yes, very cunning fullback. I would equate him to Timothy Chisiga.
Zimbabwe kick for territory here. Griffin Chow has got to know that McNabb is right under him there. The whistle goes
1 of 3.
But it depends on the angles, because before that the other 2 that he missed were in such a difficult angle on the far end to really get them. So this one is a little more central, the penalty.
And then you would think that the wind, but you can still see as the flags being swayed by the wind. Let's see how that goes. The flags go up. He does miss, so he's not having a good kicking game by his standards.
Penalty is missed.
Now that would be really disappointing to tire the forwards,
yeah. Hold it. So he's just telling them just get it out as quickly as possible.
And just get it back, and Asati.
The secondary shove there from the Kenya Simbas. The ball is available to be used. Asati running across, gets the ball to Barry Young, to John Kubu. And
there's a knock-on, unfortunately, there. But play will be called back.
That's to be as hard. And the harder you strike the ball, then the harder it is for you to maintain your accuracy. So he doesn't have that kind of error at that point.
Quite a distance it is, if you ask me, where he's kicking from. John Kubu, and an opportunity to give Kenya the lead here if he's to successfully split those poles 3 minutes before half time. He has 15 seconds, still time on his side. Let's see what those legs have got to offer. He kicks the ball and just can't split the poles.
Yeah, I think that is just below the upright. I think he could do a little. They don't count the halftime break, because then you wouldn't be back anyway.
Yeah.
So they'll be so a little bit of fortuitous, a little there for them. They have 10 minutes. As McNabb tries to get the chicken wing, and Chow, he is a quick man, and if there's nobody there, he is going to find his way.
Wow. And Kenya, right at the stroke of halftime, get the try in. And it is Griffin Chow, the man that got into the scene. Just look at that.
I think that was just a little too elaborate from
Hilton
Mudariki. Look at his running style. Legs are up. He's running on his toes. True sprinter. He dots down, and he will give you the customary celebration, because he loves find the white line, and with his pace you can clearly see that nobody was going to catch him. Again, we wonder where was the fullback at that point in time, because there has to be some cover at that point. And then you see Griffin celebrating John Kubu.
And he split the balls. And he's 18, 13. Does, of course, Griffin Chow remind you of yourself?
Well, you have to be lucky at some point. But
yeah, anything that you can get from this phase of play as Jobe prepares to feed the ball in for the Zimbabwe Sables. Keegan Jobe. It's picked up here by Dylan Utete. Makes progress in terms of territory, puts pressure on the Kenyans. The rock is secured. The Zimbabweans must be smelling blood here. But then the tackling is coming in from Andy Kolo Molo of Kenya. Zimbabwe persisting, pressing on. And just look at the battering rams there that are involved in trying to get Zimbabwe over the line. If they got a try here, it would level the game to be 18 apiece. And just look at Madiaomo, the hooker, gets the ball again. They've got to make sure that the ball keeps moving, otherwise they still present the ball, the Zimbabweans. Madiaomo gets it, and then they are pushing on, and that is a try by the Zimbabweans.
That's Utete, the man who's just come on. 2 points to follow off that charity strike. Utete did pump his feet, had the presence of mind to keep it in hand and keep it tight, keep it locked. Try time.
Yes,
the Zimbabwe Sables.
Yeah, good play there as Muteshi Anami, just playing as the 8th man of Kenya, just couldn't hold him back as he came in with the lead again. If they can split the pose here through Ian Pryor.
We talked about that, and we talked about their possession and their dominance on getting points on the board at that point in time. That flags go up. Ian Pryor has split the uprights. He is 2 for 4.
Yeah.
No, 2 for 5. 2 for 5.
5.
Yeah, because a lot of work has gone in for them to contain the scrums, and the amount of work that the big boys have been throwing at them on the defensive end means as Ian Pryor lines up the drop kick. Ian Pryor, perfect off the boot. Love to play.
With, of course, 6 minutes to play. Zimbabwe will be happy about proceedings here. They lead by 5. At one point they were trailing by 5. Kenya, wrong entry again. So it's a penalty to Zimbabwe.
Yeah, before the scrum set piece had been done. Ian Pryor lines this one up.
And he knows that if he can't split the pose here and Zimbabwe get to 26, even if Kenya were to get a try and convert it, they would still be trailing by at least at 1 point.
Oh yeah, it is very, very crucial that he gets them over that 7-point mark, because then that takes the game farther and farther away. It looks good. Splitting the uprights. Ian Pryor. What a penalty. What a kick again. Coming to the fore.
Barry finds Shihundu, who committed the knock-on. And Shihundu doesn't release the ball, and it's a penalty to Zimbabwe. And you can see the celebrations by number 30.
Yeah, and as you can see, Edward Sigauke just telling the rest of the pack to chase as hard as they can, because just in case Ian Pryor doesn't get it there, then you have a defensive line that is already up. Beautiful ball, world flair, Africa rugby.
Yeah, Rugby Africa.
Ian Pryor applies violence, and it's in.
29 Zimbabwe, 18 Kenya, and now is that the point where, for a Kenyan fan, your spirit
just for that try-saving tackle.
But then they lose the ball in the line out. The Kenyans receive it.
Try time to the Kenya Simbas. What a mistake there. But he wants to restart.
Teddy Victor picks up the ball line out, and he just touches down, and you can see how the Zimbabwe players are not happy about themselves, their teammates, and the way they execute.